Blak Magic Woman podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we have recorded this episode on. We also acknowledge traditional owners of the land where you, the listener or viewer, are tuning in from. We would like to pay our respects to our elders past and present and acknowledge that this always was Aboriginal land and always will be Aboriginal land.
We're all very supportive of each other.
There's no use seeing each other as competitors. We're actually more powerful when we
work together, share knowledge.
We're a collective.
Yeah.
It's our culture, right? It's our society.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Blak Magic Woman podcast with Mundanara Bales.
Hey you mob, I am here with the deadly Elijah McDonald, who is actually a game developer, and we have not had anyone that's about to launch a game on this podcast. This fella works for a company called Guck, and the project is basically a game called Blaktasia, and I'm going to leave Elijah to tell you more about what he's been up to. Brother, thank you for jumping on the podcast. Can you let the listeners know who you are and where your mob's from?
Hey, my name's Elijah McDonald. I'm Noongar, Yamatji on my mother's side, and Pitta-Pitta, Marawali and Karawali on my father's side. So West Coast and Central West Queensland.
Too deadly. And what brought you down here to Gadigal Country to celebrate Yabun?
Yeah, so flew up from Melbourne today to have a stall here. We're showing off and kind of just trying to spread the word about our game, Blaktasia, Invasion of the Merk. It's Australia's first ever Aboriginal-led mobile game. So we figured most black fellas around at Yabun, so we got to come up,
This is a place to be, right?
Exactly,
If you want to launch something, spread the word.
That's right, yeah.
This is it.
So, came up here and just, spent the whole day promoting it, putting it out there, letting everyone know, because it's a game that's made by mob for mob. I'm one of the developers on that project.
Let's go back to being a developer.
Yeah.
How did you get into gaming?
I mean, if we go all the way back, it started with my father. He'd always be on the game himself, on the Xbox or the PlayStation or whatever he had. I'd always want to play with him, so he'd put a controller plug under the Xbox, and I'd sit there thinking I'm playing with him.
And you wasn't?
No. But then, as I got a bit older, I was, just on the game a bit more. And then, after high school, I started going to TAFE and did an advanced diploma in game art and design. And that kind of started all of that off. And, to be honest, I didn't even know that I wanted to be making games exactly. I just kind of chose a course to start at TAFE. And, it led into that. And then I got really lucky and got an interview with Guck for this project, Blaktasia.
Yeah.
And I started working for them remote in Perth. And then after about a year, ended up moving over to Melbourne because all the COVID restrictions were ending. And it was possible to kind of have more in the office work. And I've been working on that since. It's been a couple years now, but we're coming to the end of the project. We're coming up on releasing it, so we'll be releasing around NAIDOC week, hopefully.
Yep.
That's not 100% confirmed yet, but we're hoping to get it out around that time.
So Blaktasia, how did that name come about?
Well, for a good while, we didn't have a name for the game. We were just using it was just untitled something, and we were actually on a camp out on country, Gunditjmara country, down near Warrnambool, southwest kind of Victoria, which some of the people on our team, Phoebe Watson, our game designer, and Trish McKean, one of the concept artists on the team, they're both Gunditjmara women. So we're out on their country, just camping. I don't know, we were just all sitting around the fire and throwing out some not as great game titles. I don't even remember what they were, but they weren't that good. But I don't know, someone said what about Blaktasia, black and Fantasia, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we all kind of liked it, and it's stuck since then. So
Deadly. So Have you got a business or you're employed by someone else?
So yeah, we're a company.
Yep.
The company's called Guck, and yeah, we're the ones that are just producing the game, making it. It's all like majority Blak-owned in terms of the projects, like structure, like every layer. There's like Blak leadership, like the directors.
Which is unusual, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Especially in the gaming space.
Absolutely.
You don't really hear about Blak games or
not at all
developers.
Yeah. Especially in Australia, like there's some stuff going on around the world, like with other First Nations mob.
Yep.
In terms of Australia, there's not too much going on. Yeah, we all came together and decided to make this game, and yeah.
What do you hope the game, does? Like, what's the impact of a game, or is there any impact, or is it just a fun game? Describe the game.
I mean, the game, it's like a fantasy world kind of inspired by country. You fight back this like evil corrupting force called the Merk. It's like invaded the land, it's taken over everything, and you've got to fight it back using mulga magic. And we took that kind of like, from mulga trees, and you fight that back using the mulga magic, and you start planting and bringing back all these native plants, and that brings in all the native animals again. You rebuild their habitats, encounter mob as well in the game, and help them fight back the Merk, and kind of just build your own little bushlands kind of world.
Do you reckon it's like an educational game as well? Like when you talk about the flora and fauna?
I think, yeah, it's definitely educational in the sense that it's like there's not too much of, especially just Australian flora and fauna in like contemporary like media, like especially games. Like there's not really anything that's doing it like quite like this especially, and
yeah, something different.
Yeah, exactly.
That actually reflects the country, the environment of Australia, and it's a
100%.
A First Nations game.
Yeah, exactly. And majority of the team is all First Nations, so we have that perspective, we can bring that experience to making this game. Whereas if a non-Indigenous person, sure, they could make something in that same kind of vein, but it doesn't have that same connection to country. It doesn't have that same
they can't
inherited
tell the same
knowledge,
stories.
Exactly. They didn't grow up with that like we did, and I feel like we kind of just bring that into all of us, in all professions, like yourself, you're bringing your blackness into the podcast, like we're bringing our blackness into the game space, exactly, and that's just something that you're only going to get when you're Black,
Well, who else is in this space if you think about gaming? Is there other Black fellas out there that that you can connect with?
Yeah, no, there's a few around. We try to keep connected with all of them. There's certainly there's not too many.
Yeah.
But I do meet a lot of up-and-coming people as well.
Yeah, and are all supportive of each other? Because what's really interesting with Indigenous businesses and the kind of ecosystem, a lot of Black fellas are supporting each other, but I've also seen a lot of Black fellas that see each other as competitors. So what's your industry like?
I'd say for the games, I mean, especially because there's not a lot of us, we're all very supportive of each other.
Deadly.
Even with
that's the way it should be, right?
No, exactly.
When you think about it,
that's how we are,
Yeah, trying to do well, trying to do something good, trying to make a living.
Yeah.
There's no use seeing each other as competitors. We're actually more powerful when we
work together, share knowledge. You don't have to.
We're a collective.
Yeah.
It's our culture, right? It's our society.
Yeah.
So taking that into the gaming industry or the business world, showing people that actually we can actually get more together. We can grow better. We can support each other.
Yeah.
We can actually succeed quicker if we were helping each other. And I've never actually had anyone that's done gaming on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of listeners and that are listening are kind of thinking this is quite unique.
Yeah.
Is there any other projects that you're working on? Like, what's next? I know you're just about to launch. I'm sure there's other projects or ideas. Like, what are you planning for 2025?
To be honest, at least with Guck and the Blaktasia team, once we make this game, we're disbanding. We're going to go our separate ways, Some of us might start up our own thing. Others, for me, I might go and study, get my bachelor's degree or something.
Yeah.
Maybe work on some smaller things.
Well, gamification is massive.
Yeah, no, for
People
sure.
are talking about even learning and online learning.
Yeah.
And how do you gamify
Yeah.
a learning module around cultural competence?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a demand, there's a need, and
Yeah.
it's a growing sector, but I haven't heard many black fellas tapping into this sector.
Yeah.
It's kind of the STEM area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Computing.
I guess, yeah, that would intersect more with, like, people who do all of that more learning stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that we'll see in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's, definitely got capacity for that, and it's something that we could certainly do.
Well, I'm going to be hitting you up.
Yeah.
And I think people that are listening might need someone like you with the lived experience and the Aboriginal perspective that you can bring to a project to think about how do we gamify this kind of project or this resource or this educational or learning experience. So especially when it comes to younger people, and I do want to quickly touch on the fact that there's a lot of young people that do listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
What would you say to them if they were thinking of or even interested in gaming? Because how many young people are on Fortnite, Call of Duty, that have a PS5, that have got access to mobile devices now?
Yeah.
Roblox. Is it Roblox?
Yep, Roblox is a big one.
Like my daughter's on it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of free resources on the internet these days, like you can learn just about anything.
Yeah.
And if you've got access to a computer, you can just get started on that, just start playing around, pick up some tools, like you can make something in Roblox, or like start using Unity or Unreal Engine, those are two great game engines, which are like specific tools for, developing games.
Are you finding many young people coming to your store talking about gaming?
A couple of people have come through, talking about like, how did you get into it?
Yeah.
Asking questions like, how's it going? What are you using? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Had a really cute interaction. One little girl, she came up to our stall right at the start of the day. She was really interested and started playing the game. Then her parents called her to come back. Then a couple hours later, she comes back with her parents. They want to go get a feed, but she's like, no, I want to play the...
She wants to play the game.
Yeah, and... I don't know, that just made me really happy,
Of course,
like to see that,
of
like
course.
little black girl being so excited to play out a game, and that just, it means a lot to me because that's exactly who we're making the game for, It's that young mob, it's something they can see themselves in, and...
Who knows what can happen after this first game goes live?
Yeah, hopefully after this game, we see maybe a bit of a surge in more black created games, That's my hope, at least,
Yeah. So, Elijah, what do you actually need, you and the team, to make sure that this launch is a success?
Yeah, basically, just need everyone to jump on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you use, and start following us. Where most of the ats are at Blaktasia_game. So Blaktasia is spelled Blaktasia. Go online and give us a follow, and you'll be able to keep up to date and find out when we're launching.
Of course. Well, I hope after this episode more people reach out to you, and even when it launches, to actually go buy the game.
Yeah, well, no, you don't have to buy the game.
You don't have to buy the game.
Because it's free.
Hey, well, there you go.
Yeah.
So the game is for free.
Yep, 100% free. There's no microtransactions, there's no ads, none of that. It's just when NAIDOC week comes around, assuming everything goes to plan, we'll be launching it then, and everyone can download it and play for free.
Deadly.
Yeah.
Well, you mob, we will make sure that we put some show notes in this episode so people can reach out to you fellas if they've got any questions or they just want to catch up to find out more about gaming.
Yeah.
So too deadly. Well, thank you for jumping on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you
It's
for
been
having
an
me.
absolute pleasure to have a yarn, to hear what you're up to, and good luck with everything.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
With the launch. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
If you'd like any more info on today's guest, please visit our show notes in the episode description. A big shout out to all you Deadly Mob and allies who continue to listen, watch and support our podcast. Your feedback means the world. You can rate and review the podcast on Apple and Spotify, or even head to our socials and YouTube channel and drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. The Blak Magic Woman podcast is produced by Clint Curtis.